Okay, welcome back. In this video, I will be walking through the quick intake feature, which is one of the most commonly used aspects of Lexicata. It's basically how you can start creating your potential clients in the system by creating both a contact and a matter at the same time. And it's also going to add them here to your pipeline so you can track them through the process. All right, so up here in the top right corner is going to be the quick intake button. Let's just go ahead and click it. You can do this from any page. It's always going to be there in the top navigation. It's basically going to bring up this form here. And like I mentioned, you'll be creating both a contact and a matter at the same time. And the matter will be linked to the contact. So at the top, you have the option to choose from a new person, a new company, or an existing contact. This is going to be the primary contact that is associated with the matter that gets created. If you don't have any contacts yet, you're obviously going to want to choose new person or new company. If you do have contacts in the system already and it's either a past client that's coming back with a new matter, or if for whatever reason they're already in your account somehow, and this is a secondary matter, you would choose the existing contacts option. In this case, this is a brand new account, so I'm just going to put in my first potential client in the system. So let's just go ahead and fill this out. We'll just say his name is Mr. John Doe. You can put in an email. And you can designate the type of email, whether home, work, other, their phone number. So the idea here is not to get every piece of information up front, but you do want to get the basic contact info you need to start tracking them, make sure you can follow up, so their email and phone number. And here you'll notice you can designate the contact type and the lead source. So contact type, you're most likely going to want to leave here as lead because this is a potential client. And remember, these are the default life cycle phases that Lexicata gives you. Lead, client, did not hire. We'll leave it as lead, meaning a new potential client. And then for the source, you can choose from any of your existing lead sources. If you remember, I created that bus stop ads in the previous video. Let's just go ahead and select that. Now we can start tracking how many potential clients are coming from our bus stop ad campaign. And the other thing you can do here is add tags to your contacts. So I created a few tags last time. Let's just say this person is a VIP and a Rams fan. So you can add one or more tags. Those will get added to the contact automatically. That's it for the contact portion. Now let's look at the matter portion. Here you're going to designate what type of matter it is, or if you don't know yet, you can leave it as unassigned or your default one. And you're also going to designate the matter status. So let's just say this is a personal injury account. And for matter status, it's going to default to the first column on the pipeline view, so the one furthest to the left. So you can probably usually leave it as that, but if for any reason you wanted to put them further along, you could change it to any other status from there. So those are the only required fields you need, is basically just first name, last name, and matter type. But if you want, you can add more information like tags, other things like that, as well as notes. So maybe I want to just put in some notes about the initial call that I had with John or something like that. So initial call notes. So we can just say, spoke to John on the phone. He was injured in a car accident. And you can add as much detail as you want. This will get added as a matter note, so you can go back later and kind of review what the call was about. Finally, you have here location. So we can say, let's just say Los Angeles, and the value. So this is intended to be sort of the anticipated amount of fees you could earn for this client. You can always update this later if you need to. Let's just estimate, $15,000 for a personal injury case. Finally, the assignment. If you have multiple users on your account and you needed to assign it to someone else, you could do that here. They would basically get an email notification letting them know that there's a new matter in the system, which they are assigned to. In this case, I'm the only user, so I'm just going to leave it on myself and click Create Matter. Okay, so once you fill out the quick intake form, it's going to take you straight to the matter page. So this is basically the page for this matter that has all the information about it, about the matter, the contact, as well as any other kind of action items you're working on within Lexicata. So you're going to see here, you're in matters. You're on this personal injury matter for John Doe that we just created. So we'll go through each of sort of the elements of this page in just a minute. Before we do that, let's go back to the dashboard. And I just want to show you quickly here where the matter is and how it works on the dashboard. So this again is your pipeline. You'll notice this personal injury for John Doe. It got created here as a little card, and it's under the newly added column on the pipeline because that was the status that I indicated when I filled out quick intake. So you can, the cool thing about the pipeline is you can actually update the status by simply dragging and dropping to move this around. So let's just click on it and let's just move it over to follow up needed. So it's that easy. You can basically just instantly update the progress of a matter just by drag and drop right from the pipeline. The other things you can do here on the pipeline are mark the matter as hired by clicking the little green circle icon. That would take it out of the intake portion of the pipeline, move it over to hired. Or you can mark as did not hire by clicking this little red circle, and you can indicate which reason why they didn't hire you. That again would move it out of intake and move it over to the did not hire section. The last feature here from the pipeline is this little info icon. If you click on that, it'll basically pull up a quick sort of snapshot view of the matter. So you can see the location, description, value, all the data points you filled out on quick intake, the contact, any notes. So it's just a quick way to kind of look in on a matter and see what's going on without leaving this pipeline view. So as you start adding more and more potential clients to the system, the pipeline will start to fill up, and you just want to get in the habit of moving the cards around like I showed here to keep each matter updated and so everyone knows sort of what step you're at in the process. All right, so that's that for the matter pipeline, matter management on the pipeline. Let's go back now to the matter page, and I'll show you sort of each element of the matter page and how it works. Okay, so at the top of the matter page, you will see the matter name, so personal injury John Doe. You'll also notice this feature we have here, which is called matter labels. This is basically a way you can add some additional text to the matter name. There's a lot of different ways you can use it, but basically it just allows you to append some more information that will always show up every time that matter name shows up. It can be an identifier, it could be a case number, it could be a rating system if you want to rate the value of different cases, things like that. Whatever you want, you would just click the add label button, put in some text, and click save, and it would add that to the matter name. You also have a matter options button here where you can basically edit, export, or delete this matter from the system. All right, now let's get into kind of the more substantive things here. On the left, you're going to see the matter details. So a little card here, it has sort of all the information about the matter. So you can change the status if you want, which is the same thing I was just doing on the pipeline by dragging and dropping, but you can change it directly here from the matter page. You can edit if you want to change any of these other fields. So the description, location, value, you can change any of those fields by clicking this edit button. You can also add custom fields. So let's just do this to show you how the custom fields work, which we set up in a previous video. You would click the add custom field button. And remember, these are more specific inputs that you want about a matter. So this one happened to be a personal injury matter, so the date of incident field might make sense to add. So we'll click on that, and you'll see it'll give you the input here. Depending what kind of field it is, that's the type of input it will be. In this case, it's a date, so you basically click there. There's a little calendar picker. Let's just say it happened on December 20th. You can click the add and close button if you're done. If you needed to add an additional field, you could also just click add, and it would let you add another field before you're done, but let's just finish it up now. Add and close. And as you can see, basically adds this additional data point to this matter. So you now can instantly recognize the date the incident occurred right here by using those custom fields. So custom fields are really powerful to give you a lot of just ability to really customize the information you want to see. Down here we have the contact information. So any contacts that are linked to this matter will show up right here, each with their own little card. The primary contact, who's the client, will typically or will always be at the very top here, indicated as primary. Any additional contacts will be listed below. And you can always add more contacts by clicking add contact right here at the bottom. The other things you can do here, change contact type, change lead source. You can add or remove tags by clicking edit. And you can manage the contact information. You can edit their email, phone number, address, those kinds of things by clicking this edit contact link right here and just adding the information or editing it from here. So that's kind of the left sidebar. You have the matter and contact information for this matter. On the right side of the page, you have a lot of other kind of areas with a lot of different functionality. So we'll go through each of these 4 tabs at once. The first one is the workflow. The workflow is basically kind of a running list of all the action items that are happening related to this matter. So there's 5 types of items that can go into your workflow for the matter, and they're all listed here under this add to workflow section, these single items that you would add. So here are the 5. You have tasks, basically a to-do list item, appointments, so these can be consultations or other important upcoming dates related to the matter, scheduled emails, so you can trigger emails to go out at a certain date and time, and you can use custom templates for those. Forms, so I talked about those before. That's basically intake forms or questionnaires that the client or someone at the firm can fill out. And finally, documents. So you can send out contracts or fee agreements or other things that clients need to sign, and they'll come back and be submitted as part of this matter. So each of these 5 action items will add an item into your workflow, and that's basically where you can monitor the progress and what's happening with this matter and do all those other kind of actions that Lexicata enables you to do. So the other thing you can add here is going to be a template. It's basically the same as adding single items. It's just that it allows you to add more than one thing at once. So you can build out predefined processes, a series of tasks that you need to complete, or maybe a series of emails you want to send out. So we have email campaigns as well. But this basically, as you can see, I have an intake checklist. So this could be a series of steps that I want to go through. You can add all of them simultaneously rather than one by one, which is what this add single item lets you do. All right, so that's the workflow. We'll get into this in much more detail in later videos, but just have a basic understanding of what it's for. Here we have the notes. So it'll show you any previously created notes. For instance, the initial call notes that I put in from the quick intake form are already here. But if I wanted to add, another note, you can do that. You can also do formatting. So if you want to make your notes bold and underline, italic, bullet points, things like that to stylize them, make it easier to read, you can do that. Just click the add note button and there it is. So it'll just create a note so you can have a running history of sort of all the little updates that are happening about this matter, and they'll all be within the notes tab. The next tab is going to be the emails tab. So the emails tab allows you to basically send out emails to the client or any of the contacts that are linked to the matter. You can use any email templates you've created, which I don't have any at this time, but we'll go through how to create those in a later video. Or you can also just type out an email manually, and it will send this email through your linked email account. So if you've already connected your email account to Lexicata, it's going to send this as you through your real email account, but it's a quick way to just send off an update or an important email to a client from the emails tab. And it's also going to start tracking emails you've sent out through the matter tab underneath here as well. So it's going to show you a history of all the previous emails you've sent. Finally, we have the files tab here. So you can basically drag and drop or click here to upload files to this matter. They'll just be saved along with the matter. So this could be important documents that your client has sent you that are related. It will also include any file attachments that a client sends you. So you can attach files to an intake form. If they do that, those will automatically get saved here under the files tab in this matter. And you also will see PDF versions of any submitted intake forms and signed documents. So again, those are the form and document features of Lexicata. Those submitted forms and signed documents will be listed in the files tab for this matter as well. So that's pretty much it. Oh, I guess the last thing to point out would be the timeline. So any updates related to this matter will show up here as timeline items. It's going to be basically a running history of all the actions that happen. It'll include any notes and emails. So right now I just have the one note that was created, but any future changes you make to this matter, or forms that get sent out, appointments that get scheduled, anything like that will be tracked here along with the date and time under the timeline. So that wraps up the overview of quick intake and the matter page and how that all works. In the next video, we'll be going through some of the CRM and contact management features that Lexicata has to offer. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.